In this video, I want to share with you a new perspective when it comes to emotional regulation and nervous system regulation tools. If you're noticing that these things are not working for you, this might actually serve you this different perspective. So I spent quite a few years learning about trauma, learning about the nervous system, learning about the emotional regulation tools, but something about it just didn't feel good for me. And I'm going to explain to you what I was feeling and why it didn't feel good for me. So with the emotional regulation tools, the goal is to move yourself out of either the dorsal response or the sympathetic response while bringing in this ventral, this connected, this safe energy to those states, right? And as we're doing that, we are trying to change our emotional state, right? To shift our nervous system state, right? So for me, what I've learned about the nervous system, what I've learned about emotions is that when I try to change my emotional state through these nervous system and emotional regulation tools, it actually made me feel worse. It's like this protective energy came up. And there's a reason why, which I'm going to share with you very soon. Because when you grow up in an environment where it's been very critical, very judgmental, and you've been shamed a lot, it's almost like you have this extra sensory organ within you. It's like when something feels shameful, it's like it brings up that within you. And that's what I was feeling. And I'm like, something doesn't feel good about this to me because it makes me feel ashamed for how I'm feeling. And when I feel ashamed, I close off and I don't feel safe. And so I was like, okay. So instead of when I'm feeling very dysregulated in my nervous system, when I'm feeling emotions that don't feel good, so instead of trying to use all these different emotional regulations tools to shift my emotional state, instead, I brought love and compassion to the emotions that I was feeling. I didn't try to change them. And that's where this like trauma-informed approach comes in, that all parts of us are welcome. And I don't think that this is mainstream enough out in the trauma space. It's always about like there's something wrong, there's something needs to be fixed. No, a trauma-informed approach is all parts of you are welcome. And that means that they're also welcome with how they feel and what you are thinking. Because when you try to change your emotional state and try to change your thoughts, when you're already in the survival response, it's going to put you further into the survival response. And that's what I discovered. And so I stopped doing all the emotional regulation tools that were out there. And when I was feeling an emotion, I would almost validate myself for feeling it. But then also I understood that my emotions were trying to show me something. They were trying to show me that something wasn't aligned for me in my life, that something like, let me just explain this. So when we have triggers, right, we have this emotional energy that comes up and it's trying to show you something. Now, a lot of times in the spirituality world and the self-development world, it's showing you that there's something wrong. What if it was showing you your self-worth? What if it was showing you your power? What if it was showing you what is correct for you? That maybe a situation that you're in, you deserve so much more than that. So the trigger is trying to get your attention to listen to the emotions of how the situation's actually making you feel. It's not like you're a victim. It's not like you've done something wrong. It's not like you're in the bad, like a wrong place or you're bad or wrong. It's showing you that there's a different step to take, another possibility that's out there, that your spirit is guiding you. And when I discovered this, it made it so much easier for me to be with my emotions. And oh, there we go. that brings in that ventral energy to the emotional state. When you start to stop being a victim of your emotions and feel like your emotions are controlling you, and instead loving them and appreciating them for them showing you something. So when you're feeling something that doesn't feel good and the thoughts are coming up, and then it's creating this loop between your thoughts and your emotions make you think a certain way, your thoughts make you feel a certain way, and you're trapped in that. Try to stop yourself and ask, what is this emotion trying to show me right now? And for you to know what the emotion is showing you, you actually need to bring yourself back to the present moment. Because a lot of times when we're in that survival response, we become very disconnected from our bodies, very disconnected from our reality. And these emotions are actually just trying to bring you back to the here and the now. And when we can be totally honest with where we're at, we can get the wisdom from the emotion of how it's what it's trying to show you, what it's trying to tell you about the situation that you're in, the relationship that you're in, the decision that you're trying to make. And when you start to see your emotions as an ally, that's when things are going to start to really shift and change in your life. And it's going to feel safer to be in your body feeling these emotions when you know that they're actually guiding you on your path. Okay? So I just wanted to share this perspective shift with you because the emotions are such a beautiful thing. Your emotions are actually your feminine energy. It's part of your intuitive system. And we've spent so much time being in the masculine energy, in the logical energy, and just taking actions over and over and over again, and not bringing our feminine energy in, which is our emotional system, which is trying to guide us and say, this doesn't feel good, this doesn't feel good, this doesn't feel good. Okay, cool. So what about this doesn't feel good? Now, when I know what doesn't feel good, what are other possibilities that are out there? Let's expand the mind. Let's open the mind to new possibilities. Let's open up the masculine to see other directions that we could go in the here and now. And then tune into the emotions, tune into the feminine energy and ask, does that feel good? Does that step feel good? And then we go and we take the next step. I know for me, out there in the manifestation world, the quantum world, it's all about like visualizing who you want to be, where you want to be, and all the bigger dreams and all the things. But if you spent most of your life living in the fantasy world, that doesn't serve you. Because what happens is if your mind is elsewhere and it's not here in the now or what the next step is, your emotional system is responding to wherever your mind is. And so we need to bring the mind back into the present moment, because if it's always in the future, thinking about your dreams and your desires and where you want to be, your emotional system is responding to that. So like, how can you actually take action steps in the present moment that feel good for you if your mind's somewhere else? Like, we need to bring it all back and ground it in to this present moment and figure out like, what is the next step? Okay, let me tune into my body. Let me tune into my emotions. How does that actually feel for me? Okay, cool. It feels good. All right, let's take that step. All right, where are we now? How does that feel emotionally? How does that feel in our body? Oh, it doesn't feel good. Okay. What are some other possibilities of the next step that I can take? Right? You see how this goes? So it's really about grounding the mind into the present moment, which is going to help you build a new relationship with your emotions, which is going to make you feel safe in your body, feel safe with your emotions. So you're not going to need all these like nervous system and emotional regulation tools, because now you've built this beautiful relationship with your mind, your emotions, and your body. And you're aligning it to spirit, because spirit is the one who's giving you these nudges through your emotional system and through your body. So there we go. That's my riff. That's my rant on emotional and nervous system regulation and just really getting connected to the emotional system to guide you on your path. Let me know what resonates for you. Always, always, always take what resonates for you. Leave what doesn't, right? We are all unique. We are all on our own journey. So what works for me might not work for you. So take what works for you and run with it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.